Okay, so I was feeling pretty good. Some things were happening yesterday that kind of gave me a little bit of optimism and kind of what was going on, currently with the Trump administration and everything that's been going on as of late. And then I read an article today and I get hit with the doomer vibes all over again. So first, I'll start off with why I was getting, somewhat optimistic about the future. I think, and from what I saw yesterday, the Trump administration was losing steam. Why did I think it was losing steam? The first reason, and it was a multitude of different things that kind of were starting to outline maybe some of the breaking that the administration kind of was using, or some of the momentum the administration was using to enact all these things that, Trump and Doge and Republicans have been doing since he took office. I believe it was either yesterday that the decision was handed down, or it was Tuesday. Today is Thursday, March 6th? The Supreme Court basically blocked the Trump administration from freezing $2 billion worth of funding that was supposed to be paid out to contractors that have already performed work for the federal government. And so it really was the first time the Supreme Court has, made a decision, during the Trump administration that was against what the Trump administration was doing. And so it gave me a glimmer of hope, because what that decision was is it said, hey, that's a check on the power of the executive branch, which is the presidency, was that you have to pay out money that has been appropriated by Congress. And I heard someone say that, this is showing that the Supreme Court might be a player, during this administration, and for them to actually kind of check Trump and what the administration is doing. And so that gave me a little bit of hope. And I was like, okay. Number two, he reversed all of the tariffs that he put down. One, the tariffs are not a good idea. They're going to send inflation higher, and it's literally destroying partnerships and alliances that we've had with our neighbors, Mexico and Canada. The 10% extra on China still went into effect, but it is showing that Trump has no idea what he is doing, and his administration has no idea what they're doing. They are constantly doing something and reversing it, doing something and reversing it, doing the tariffs and reversing it. Once the stock market absolutely craters, consumer sentiment and consumer spending is falling off a cliff, the unemployment numbers, or more of the jobs added, not the unemployment, but the jobs added, was significantly under expectations. Like 77,000 jobs were added in February, and they were expecting like 180 or 170K. And it's 77K. That is a huge miss on the projections of what our economy was going to be adding in terms of, new payroll, new jobs, right? And also I saw that Elon Musk got talked to by congressional Republicans after the Supreme Court decision was handed down. Basically, in a closed-door meeting, sources said, hey, Elon, everything you got to do now with Doge has to come through us, has to go through, because you cannot be doing these illegal hirings, illegal funding freezes, illegal agency closings when the power of agencies and appropriations goes through Congress. He's unelected and he has no business being in our government whatsoever. And so that gave me a little bit of optimism, and I was like, whoa, okay, it looks like the Trump administration is losing steam, and this is good. This is good, because the things they are doing is not good for the country. I'm sorry. It's just not, especially me as a letter carrier and wanting to engage in the labor movement and be part of the labor, the labor movement and protecting, the labor side of things. It shows that, okay, maybe they're not going to be able to get away with, what they wanted to do. But then I saw an article today that said AGI, artificial general intelligence, could be coming during the Trump administration. And this just absolutely sent me down the doomer vibes little rabbit hole, little toilet bowl now. So Artificial general intelligence is basically the idea or the technology that's going to allow automation or computer systems to automate and do computer tasks that have usually been outlined for humans to do, and do it even better, or well, on par or even better. And so artificial general intelligence is a very scary technology. And as someone who is a letter carrier and part of the labor force, it is so antithetical to labor, it's not even funny. Businesses will continue to mislead you, continue to lie in your face and tell you, oh, AI is all of this things that AI are going to provide is going to be this way to make your job easier and new technology to help grow our economy. No. Out of the financial equation, where there's labor plus input plus overhead equals revenue through your goods and services, they are going after the labor input. They want to get rid of labor as much as they can, right? AGI is a way to get rid of the labor cost, and it is going to displace millions and millions of office workers. Not even to just say the programmers that are building these AI models, these large language models, these new versions of ChatGPT and DeepSeek, and Alibaba from the Chinese company just came out with a new model. They are going to displace workers. The reason AGI is so scary, and especially how it's happening during the Trump administration, is the Trump administration is not going to provide any leadership through this technological change and shift in the US economy and in the global economy, in the global, in the entire world. I don't want to seem like I don't think technological breakthroughs are a good thing. I think artificial general intelligence could help in things like, healthcare, and being able to, help like diagnose stuff that, human doctors aren't able to, and just use all that data, to provide better healthcare. Number two, I was thinking about driving here. An artificial general intelligence, a smart one, could make maybe our traffic systems a little bit better. I'm not saying like in the terms of congestion and lights that take too long and things like that. A smart computer system that can think basically for itself would be able to, see the changing and the dynamicism in, intersections and where cars are going and help, funnel traffic through faster. That's something that AGI could do, but it has to have guardrails. There has to be, it has to be through federal legislation, constitutional amendments. I don't know. There needs to be something in place that is going to help protect people. What are we going to do when we have millions of people unemployed and all of our economy is dependent on people spending money? 70% of our economy is consumer spending. So what happens when everyone loses their job and no one has any money, and all these companies are talking about, oh, we're going to use AGI and artificial general intelligence to make it so much better and produce more profit? No one's going to be buying anything because no one's working, because you laid everyone off and replaced them. So I just saw that, and I had to talk, and the doomer vibes are immaculate right now because of that. And it's just scary to think about, what comes next with, the invention or the discovery of creating AGI. I'm a letter carrier, and, the Postal Service was killed with the internet. I understand that, right? AGI could be another nail in the coffin. But to me, it sounds like my profession might outlive programmers if AGI is left to its own devices and companies are left to just build these systems that can basically program, all these, coding projects and models and stuff like that. Feel bad for people, 22, 21 studying computer science right now in college, and AGI is just going to come and basically completely gut out, the labor force. My girlfriend, she works for a corporation and she does, administrative executive assistant type duties. Who knows what is going to happen to that profession with AGI? If you have 10 administrators running a department, now you need 2, right? What are those 8 workers going to do when they've spent 10, 15 years doing this job? And I get it. Technology is changing. I understand that. But there has to be a human aspect to AGI. And there has to be a human first thought when coming up with these systems. And I just don't think we have the leadership in place that is going to, you know, protect us from this stuff. Because it's coming. And it's scary. It's very scary. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough one.